Distinguished leadership, guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning. Today, we have more than 800 guests from over 30 countries and regions around the world gathering in Beijing for the special event to discuss key issues regarding development of GEI, from China's initiative to global action. Today, we'll exchange ideas and share our experiences, all of which will be of great significance to global sustainability. On behalf of GEIDCO, I would like to extend to all leaders, guests, and representatives attending. I would also like to extend sincere gratitude to the United Nations, governments of different countries, international organizations, businesses, institutions, universities, and various sectors for their consistent support. In relation to today's theme, I would like to share my ideas from three aspects. First of all, building GEI is a clear path towards global sustainability. In the new century, energy, environmental pollution, climate change are holding back sustainable development worldwide, posing a challenge for all countries. Chinese President Xi Jinping proposed discussions on building GEI to meet the global demand for power with clean and green Out-Once Sustainable Development Summit of September 2015. He also stressed in Beijing in May at the Belt and Road Initiative that in order to realize green, low-carbon development during the Belt and Road Initiative, these suggestions gained recognitions and positive remarks from international community. November 2017, GEIDCO held a high-level seminar with the United Nations Department of Economics and Social Affairs to release the Global Energy Interconnection Plan of Action of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said in his speech that GEI is the key to sustainable development for all and to the realization of inclusive growth. We're inspired by his acknowledgments, and GEICO was praised highly by him. GEI has been incorporated into the framework of Belt and Road and 2030 Agenda, which will bring revolutionary changes to the world and contribute to the well-being of mankind. First of all, it would alter the global energy mix. As the internet has changed the way we communicate around the world, GEI will change the way energy is developed and used, and ultimately the way we live. It will promote three transitions: the transition from a fossil fuel-oriented model to a clean energy-oriented model, the transition from local balance to cross-border, intercontinental, and global distribution, and the transition from using coal, oil, gas, and other to electricity. The future network is interconnected power grid. Electric power will become dominant part in energy trade, and it will be cleaner, electrified, highly globalized. It will be a new era. Secondly, it will bring forth to green and low-carbon development. Climate change is a grim situation. According to WMO greenhouse gas by the World Meteorological Organization, the global temperature rise would exceed 3%, 3 degrees Celsius by the end of the century, causing disasters if the current trend doesn't change. UN Secretary General Mr. Guterres issued a red alert to the world in his 2018 New Year speech. He's calling the countries to unite to build GEI and to conduct clean replacement and electricity replacement. And this will address the climate change from the root cause and help realize the Paris Agreement's global temperature control. Third, it will promote economic prosperity. Since the financial crisis, the world lacks impetus for growth. GEI will drive technological innovation, new energy, new material, AI, big data, electric vehicles, and many others. to achieve technical advancement, and this will help inject impetus to the economy. At the same time, developing countries can turn their resource advantage to economic advantage, and this will narrow the gap between different regions and achieve common prosperity. Fourth, it will promote peace and harmony. Solar, wind, hydropower are the shared wealth of all human beings. Speeding up GEI and jointly explore clean energies will promote countries' trust, reduce fossil fuel, reduce confrontation and conflicts by fossil, and this will build win-win and mutually beneficial cooperation and build peaceful, inclusive, and friendly new world. Fifth, it will lead to better life. Accelerating GEI will give power to access to people who cannot use power, so that all of them can use abundant and affordable green energy, and sky will be bluer, and trees will be greener, the world is better, and also energy information transformation, transportation integration will happen. This will significantly improve productivity and civilization. In general, GEI is a road towards transformation, green development, prosperity, harmony, and happiness that will help us build a shared future of community and that the world become a brighter place. Secondly, accelerating the build of GEI backbone network with 9 horizontal, 9 vertical grid under the guidance. In the context of economic globalization, social digital development, and increased electrification, GEI is gradually evolving from a Chinese initiative to a global action. China has completed 8 AC and 13 DC UHV projects. Brazil and India also build similar projects. China and its neighbors, and China with North Europe, European continent, Africa and Europe are all being connected. Building GEI is a complicated task involving energy, economy, society, and the environment. It calls for collaboration. We need to strengthen the overall design. With the design, we will implement them phase by phase. GEICO has conducted research on socio-development, economic resources of more than 800 countries in the world. And we put forward the idea of backbone network. The idea is to adhere to a course of green, low carbon, and sustainable development goals with 2 replacements as directions. We leverage on UHV and smart grid. We'll speed up the backbone network with 9 horizontal, 9 vertical grids, and that connects all 5 continents, so that clean energy can be allocated around the world, and that energy will be secure and abundantly supplied. To build GEI, the priority is to be given to Asia, Europe, Africa's connection, and connection in Americas. 5 horizontal, 6 verticals in Asia, Europe, and Africa, reaching out to North Pole and the North Sea. Solar power from North Africa and West Asia, hydropower from Central and East Africa, and transmit electricity to load centers in Asia, Europe, and Africa, and so that we can realize complementarity between different time zones and seasons. Second, to build 4 horizontal and 3 vertical channels in Americas. This will pull wind from Central U.S., hydropower from Amazon, solar from Chile, and send to west and east of United States, Canada, and southeast Brazil, so that within the continent there is power supply, and North and South America is connected. The backbone network of GEI could be implemented in 3 phases. By 2035, intracontinental grid will be connected. Asia, Africa will be connected, and there will be 5 horizontal, 5 vertical grids, so that there will be 280 gigawatts of electric power flowing across the continent. By 2050, Africa, Eurasia, and America will be connected. There will be 7 horizontal, 7 vertical grids. The power flow of 20 gigawatts. By 2070, the Arctic energy transmission channel will be finished. There will be 9 horizontal, 9 vertical channels. The flow will reach 1.25 terawatt across the continent. Building GEI underlined its backbone network and constructing an interconnected, shared, co-created, clean energy dominant, electric-centric model of energy system. It will bring a lot of value and effect for the world. First of all, it will achieve energy transition. By 2050, the clean energy percentage in the power generation industry will grow from 18.5 to 70%. It will become a dominant one in the power generation mix. Also, its installed capacity and the share of global installed capacity will grow. Will grow from 38% to 83%. And also, the power used will go from 21,000 terawatt in 2015 to 60,000 terawatt hour. Almost tripled. And consumption per GDP will decrease from 0.19 tons of standard coal per thousand US dollars in 2015 to 0.08 tons of standard coal per thousand US dollars. It's cleaner and more optimized. Efficiency is higher. Secondly, it will help cut down environmental pollution. And by 2050, global primary energy consumption will increase from 20 billion tons of standard coal to 26 billion. And also the fossil fuel will decrease from 15 billion tons of standard coal to 7.4 billion. Clean energy will replace 18.6 billion tons of standard coal, reducing SO2 and NOx by 225 million tons, 240 million tons, and 140 million tons. Thirdly, it will address climate change. Through clean replacement, it will lower to emission it will lower to 34 billion tons by 2025. That number will be further lowered to half of 1990 standard, and realizing Paris Agreement so that global temperature rise will be within 2 degrees Celsius. Fourth, it will also realize sustainable energy for all. By 2050, the average electricity consumption per capita will increase from 2,880 kilowatt hour in 2015 to 6,180 kilowatt hour. The penetration rate will go from 85.3% in 2015 to almost 100%, bringing electricity to 1.06 billion population who currently don't have electricity. And also, the cost of electricity will go down by about 2.8 US cents, cutting down the electricity bill by 1.8 trillion. And we've studied these numbers. We also absorbed stations and IEA. We absorbed their wisdom in order to, in the process of calculating these numbers. Taking concerted efforts to realize the innovation development of GEI. Building GEI is a great cause. And that can achieve fighting climate change, population growth, etc. Resource is tight, pollution is high, climate change is happening. Yet GEI is the global solution that can fight these 4 global main problems. Taking concerted effort to realize innovation. The world is an era of development and transformation. GEI is a great cause, that benefits all people around the world. Countries should enhance their initiative and sense of urgency to contribute to this cause. Though GEI represents a low carbon strategic direction, it has great synergy. Also, it creates economic competitiveness. It has bright future and huge potential. I believe if all of us stay firm along this path, GEI's development goals will definitely be realized. GEIDCO has been established for 2 years. We have actively building a platform for win-win cooperation. And we're looking at new horizons. Now we have 402 members covering 61 countries and regions. We have bilingual journals, and we've also connected with 150 government departments, international organizations, businesses, universities, and research institutions, over 50 countries. We've signed more than 20 cooperation agreements and MOUs. And our findings from 100 subject studies regarding GEI strategy planning technologies, many results have been released. This afternoon, we will release the backbone GEIDCO Index, technology framework, and also standard for documents. In general, we have finished establishing the overarching design of GEI. We've launched the blueprint, and technology improvements is always advancing forward. We're ready to go faster. Right now, the priority is to gather global wisdom and strength to seize the opportunity of transition and accelerate GEI and turn it from a concept into concrete action. In this regard, I would like to propose 4 suggestions. First of all, strengthening consensus. We need to mobilize governments, international organizations, and society to promote the concept of GEI and implement the Global Energy Interconnection Action Plan of the Agenda for Sustainable Development. What's more, we also need to incorporate G20, APEC, and other multilateral organizations so that all of them can play a role in promoting GEI. Second, taking actions. We need to promote extensive integration of GEI with Paris Agreement, Belt and Road, and regional development strategies. Our action plan needs to be need to emphasize the GEI backbone. China, Myanmar, Mongolia, China, Europe are all ones that needs to be implemented. Strategies can be eventually implemented. Thirdly, we're committed to technical innovations. There are UHV large capacity submarine cables, VSC, UHV DC power transmissions, and more breakthroughs need to happen. We also need to step up on the standardization of GEI, promote innovation and commercialization. We also need to support technical development, equipment making, operation management, project engineering. Fourth, establishing highly effective network. We need to establish policies coordinating mechanisms among countries and regions so that construction, operation, planning will have rules to follow and that there's a mechanism fostering the whole loop. We should also promote free trade of electricity and foster global power market, and that more parties will involve in the investment win results can be brought to all. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, a journey of 1,000 miles, single step. I believe this conference represents a small step, start of a new journey of GEI. Let's join our hands, develop a better future for GEI, so that this grand task will bring benefit to people all around the world. Thank you.